Yo, Miss Gray here. Let's talk about self-expression. This is something I learned from Obatala and Olodumare, and I'm here to tell you the message that I feel is appropriate to get delivered. So Obatala and Olodumare, I have a video about Obatala and Olodumare on my channel as well. So what came as a surprise to me as I was working with Obatala and Olodumare was indeed the fact that they are so connected with art and artists, and they appreciate artists. They give artists, let's say you are a writer and you have a writer's block. Well, insert Olodumare and Obatala here because they can give you the clarity that you need in order to let that artistic flow run through your head. Because let's say a writer's block or a painter's block or a fashion designer's block, that has a lot to do with too much jargon in your noggin. So it really, this is something that Obatala and Olodumare have been trying to get through my thick skull, is that how vital self-expression is the key word here. How vital self-expression is to your actual health, because they have showed me through experiences how to identify how your mental state of mind, how your spiritual well-being is impacting your actual health, and how important, how vital self-expression and art, which basically are the same thing, are to your actual health. And art has a consciousness. Art is very much alive. Now, this is very important because this is what makes it so profound to exercise the muscle that is self-expression. Now, this goes, let's say, in a more day-to-day life. If you do not dress how you want, put on that skirt, those pants, that kilt, that jumper, crop top, whatever that you've always wanted to wear, do that haircut that you've always wanted to, that hair color, speak those words you need to say. If you are a poet, recite your poems. If you are a singer, sing. If you are a writer, write. If you love somebody, hey, I don't know if you want to go all Rachel and Ross, in London type of situation, but I think it's important to express yourself. It's, and even, specifically when we are talking about art, because art, like I said, is alive and it needs to come out. And art is connected to the collective consciousness. It's part of that. Art is a part of that thing that we call oneness. When we say we are all connected, we are all one, art is a part of that thing, is an aspect of that. Art is an individual thing. It's, like I said, self-expression, but it's also the collective expressing itself through you. You hear a lot of singers and actors, dancers say that they are vessels. And that's really accurate, I feel. Just personally, I feel. And, you know, sometimes, have you ever experienced this thing where you have an idea? You have an idea, you have an outfit you wanna wear, you have a even like an invention in your mind, even if you're not an inventor actually, but you have an invention in your mind, or a song that you want to make, and for some reason, maybe you're scared, maybe you are shy, whatever, or just it doesn't feel like, you're like, oh well, whatever. And then some time passes and you see someone doing that exact thing that you were thinking of, or you see something on YouTube that you were just thinking of doing yourself. Because, like I said, art is very much alive. The thing that you are imagining, it already exists. It comes from the greater collective. It comes from a stream that we all sort of share. And there's times when something so truthful comes out that it has a worldwide impact. It's a cultural reset. It creates this new timeline narrative. Let's say, and I know that a lot of people don't stand her anymore. I'm gonna talk about J.K. Rowling. Hey, the nerd meter is going real high right now. No cap. I'm again talking about Harry Potter, which is, at this point, not that unbelievable to me, at least. But in Harry Potter, I feel that J.K. Rowling tapped into something very truthful about magic that we all recognized, because when I speak to fellow witches or magicians or just mystics, kind of magical people in general, or people that don't even identify as a witch or whatnot. But that book, especially because children are very open to magical things, as we know. So that book tapped into something very real about magic that we all knew as truth, because we all know what the truth is, and art as it in its purest form is very truthful. And art, it's supposed to create paradigms and narratives that needs to be birthed. And it always happens in revolutionary times, And with that book, Harry Potter, it opened millions of kids to, read more. It opened up such a new world to so many people, and maybe it created new way showers and writers and just artists in general. Like I said, art is alive. And it needs to come out. That's why that thing, let's say you're a poet. Well, you better go to that poetry slam and recite your poems, because if you don't, you're gonna go in to some club somewhere and there's a poetry night, and you just so happen to hear someone recite those poems that were also in your head, because they need to come out. They actually wanna live in a way. Uh, well, a good example as well to me is also the movie Titanic. A little weird, but just what made that love story so different from any other films about love? Well, to me, the movie Titanic is one of the best depictions of a twin flame relationship. And the twin flame dynamic is something very spiritual. I know there's a lot of controversy right now going around the title Twin Flame, but to me, that film Titanic represents something, it represents love at its highest form. It's not an ownership type of love, but it's something that sets a person free. If you really think about it, Jack kind of freed Rose with his love. Now, that if that is not a twin flame dynamic, I don't know what is. And I think we collectively recognized that, and that's why, because we all have that twin flame dynamic within ourselves, because we are all connected. We've all lived these lives, that it's all intertwined. So when something is truthful, as we recognize that thing. And truth is very important. So I feel that's why, for example, the movie Titanic was so groundbreaking. And it's still one of the most iconic films ever made. James Cameron, really, that's another artist, I think, that really often, time and time again, taps into something, channels something that's very much wants to be told, wants to be heard. And he did that also with the movie Avatar. I know that, well, I feel a lot of people, even with that film, they say it's a copy of the film Pocahontas and whatever, but I feel Avatar is so much more. And, those who know. The movie Matrix is also a great example of this. That story needed to be told. And the writers, the sisters that directed that film, or are they twins? I believe they're twins. They really channeled something that existed and it needed to be told. Art is so powerful, and it is a part of us. It's an organ almost that wants to breathe. So here I'm talking about art, but like I said, just on a day-to-day level, I'm telling you, well, I'm advising or giving a suggestion from Olodumare and Obatala. What I feel and believe to be very accurate is that this is not just a hippy dippy thing to say, like, express yourself, woohoo, rainbow dance. No, it's actually part of your health. It's like your kidneys, it's like your heart, it's like your liver, it's like the food you eat. But it's even more important in a way because it's a part of your soul. And somehow it's also part of the collective consciousness. It's a part, your self-expression is a part of that thing that we call oneness. And this is why it's not, I feel that when an individual expresses themselves to the fullest truth, and now I know we can all be like, I guess, ourselves, in the lack of better words, like everyday, whatever, but to the fullest capacity that you can express yourself. Sing, write, dress how you want, say how you feel. And I feel this is especially important right now because it's almost like now there's something very revolutionary going on right now. I guess revolution is kind of always happening when you think about it, but there's like perhaps peaks, and now there is almost like this call to new way showers, star seeds, light workers, even new ascended masters to really remember who they are. And this comes from the form of you expressing yourself. If you want that hair color your hair. If you want to do that haircut, do that haircut. It's just, it's pivotal. It's just because it comes out some way, and you want it to come out in the form that is narrated by you. You don't want that thing that wants to come out, that part of yourself that wants to express. You don't want that expression to come out stifled, because then that's something, I guess that's the opposite of truth. And we want more truth in the world and in your life, for sure. So it's honestly, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense that Obatala and Olodumare are, connected with art, because they created the human body, as the story goes. So, they're the ultimate sculptors and artists, really. And I previously talked about Jesus being connected to Obatala and Olodumare. And I mean, Jesus is really the epitome of someone expressing themselves kind of no matter what, and tapping into something that needed to be said. And like I said, it doesn't need to be anything radical even. Just a small thing like you dressing how you want. It really has an impact on your actual health. This is how I feel. And courage sometimes is needed, because it's easy to say, like, express yourself and be yourself and whatnot. And I understand sometimes it can be very scary, but what's on the other side of that is truth, it's health, it's love, it's everything, really. So go for it. And like I said, the world really craves truth constantly. It wants to be said, and that is what art really represents. It, when you channel, even like when you channel something truthful, art taps into, it's the stream of consciousness that has, it contains lives that it already have been here. It's the consciousness of gods and goddesses. It's the consciousness of artists that were before us, that are gonna come after us. It's kings and queens and extraterrestrials, and it's otherworldly, it's heavenly, it's earthly. It's just it's just all I'm saying is it's important to express yourself, and yeah, really. that's kind of what I wanted to say. Guys, in the world of Harry Potter, as we are on the topic, what house do you identify as? Because I feel I'm like half a Slytherin. And just for the sympathy that I have for, or the empathy that I have for Hufflepuffs, because people tend to not wanna, they kind of wanna disregard Hufflepuffs, which is like, why? I mean, don't we stan Neville Longbottom? I definitely stan him. So, but still, I feel like I'm a mix of a Slytherin. For some reason, I kind of lean towards little Slytherin, but that has a lot to do with Snape, who was the hero of the whole saga, and he was a Slytherin, and Harry kinda was a Slytherin as well. And I want to say I'm a Gryffindor, but then I feel a little self-righteous, like, I mean, a Gryffindor, like, really? Like, don't we all? Aren't we all? Don't we all want to be a Gryffindor? But, you know, perhaps I'm a Slytherin Ravenclaw, a little. But, you know, why not a Hufflepuff? But Slytherin, I know I have a little Slytherin in me. But what house do you identify as or feel like you would be in, and why? Why? That would be interesting to hear. So, yeah, I'll be back, and express yourself. You know, be brave. Courage, my child. My child. What am I saying here again? This is my cue to, you know, perhaps go to bed and, you know, think about things and what I just said. And namaste. I'll be back. Oneness. Express yourself. And love always wins. Bye.